Today I'm going to walk through Descope widgets. I'll kick off with a high-level overview, then show you what widgets look like and how they can be customized in the console, and finally we'll see them in action live inside an application. Descope widgets are embeddable UI components that let you delegate common identity and access management operations directly to your users or admins. Instead of building custom UIs for things like profile management, user administration, or role management, you can use widgets that are already connected to Descope's APIs and powered by flows in the background. Widgets are embedded directly into your application using our front-end SDKs such as React, Angular, Vue, Next.js, or plain HTML, and they automatically respect the authenticated user's permissions and tenant context. There are two main categories of widgets. One is user widgets, which are designed for end users. These allow users to manage their own profiles, authentication methods, as well as see and sign out of all trusted devices. The second type is admin widgets, which are designed for administrators and tenant admins. These allow admins to manage users, roles, access keys, audit logs, and tenant-level configuration directly from within the application. Access to admin widgets is permission-based. A user needs the appropriate admin permissions for a tenant, which is typically through the built-in tenant admin role, to be able to see and use them. The same widget can behave differently depending on who is logged in. Now let's take a look at widgets in the Descope console. Here under widgets, you can see the full widget library. This includes both user widgets and admin widgets that are available out of the box. I'm not going to click into every widget, but you can see the different types here. Things like user profile, user management, role management, access key management, audit, and tenant profile. Each widget has its own configuration and design options, and many of them are powered by flows that control the behavior behind the scenes. I've already created a user management and a user profile widget, so let's click into the user profile widget first. On the left, you can see all the building blocks that make up the widget with things like avatar, personal information fields, authentication methods, and logout. These are pieces that you can add, remove, or rearrange depending on what you want your end users to be able to manage. More customizations include switching between dark and light mode and the preview size at the top. In the middle, you have the live preview of the widget. This is exactly what it will look like when it's embedded into your application. And once again, each of these sections are fully customizable. If I click into any one of these containers, you can see on the side the layout and styling options, like width, spacing, padding, etc. All of this is configurable without writing any code. Users can view and update their personal information like email, name, phone, and can even manage their authentication methods. Here in the authentication method section, users can add a passkey, reset their password, or manage other sign-in methods you've enabled for your project. Additionally, if you click Preview, you can see what the widget will look like in your app, but you can also see the code that devs will need to add into their front end to be able to embed this widget. You can view it in any format that you like: React, Vue, Angular, Next, or plain HTML. What's important here is that this widget isn't just UI. Each of these actions is backed by flows that handle validation, security, and verification behind the scenes. If we switch over to the widget flows section, you can see exactly how that works. It loads the current user, saves the new email, and triggers a verification step. Depending on how the user continues, the flow can send a magic link or a one-time code and then verify that code before completing the update. All of this logic is already wired up for you, and you can customize it if needed, but you don't have to build it from scratch. Similarly, I can show you an example of an admin widget through user management, which I also have previously created. Just like earlier, on the left you can see the building blocks that make up the widget. In this case, these are admin focused, with actions such as adding a user, editing a user, resetting passwords, removing a passkey, disabling or activating users, and deleting users as well. In the middle, you have the live preview of the widget. This is again what an admin would see when this widget is embedded in an application. At the top of the widget, you can see a search bar along with common admin actions, and these buttons let an admin perform bulk or individual actions on users. Here is the user table. This shows user attributes like login ID, status, name, email, etc. And admins can sort, search, and select users directly from here. If I click into the main container, you'll see the layout and styling options on the right, just like with the user profile widget. So the widget fits cleanly into your app's UI. And similar to the user profile, in the user management widget, we can also preview the code that front-end devs will need to add into their app to be able to embed this, and it can again be viewed in any format that you like, making it super accessible and easy to embed any widget into your app. What's important to note here is that this widget is permission aware. Only users with the right admin permissions will be able to see or interact with it, and the available actions are automatically limited based on what they're allowed to do. So with the user management widget, you can give admins a full user administration experience directly inside your application without having to build custom admin screens or wire up user management logic yourself. I can quickly demonstrate these in a sample app as well. So in the sample app, once I've signed in, this is the dashboard. And right now my role is a viewer. So I can go into my account and see the user profile widget, which again, I can edit each of these fields as I like. And I can add a passkey as well. I can also log out from here. But as you can see, if I go back to my dashboard, I do not have access to the management console, because I don't have the appropriate role to be able to access the admin level widgets. But if I were to change my role to the tenant admin, this becomes available and I can go to my profile. But when I go back to my dashboard, I can also go to the management console where I can go into user management. There are other things such as role management and tenant management as well. But since I showed the user management widget on the Descope console, this is exactly what it looked like, where I can add a new user. This is my current user. It shows the role that I am, my email. If I added my phone number, it would show up here. And if I select this, I'm able to delete, disable, edit. I can do any of these actions because I have the admin access. So as you just saw, I just created a test user and it populates everything that I have inputted, and I can, again, complete bulk actions or individual actions on each of these users. And that's it. Descope widgets give you ready-made, secure identity UIs that you can customize and embed directly into your application.